Alright, good morning, Mr. Manikandan. We are from IMU. My name is Pangsen. We are very happy to have Mr. Manikandan with us today. He's in the R&D department from Innovex. Sir, would you like to introduce yourself briefly?
Good morning to you. Actually, I'm Manikandan. I'm an assistant manager in formulation. So we are doing all the new products for CCM Group. Basically, we are an R&D center to come out with a new product for the group. So I'm in charge of formulation team.
Alright. Sir, if you don't mind, we have a few questions for you today.
Yes.
Firstly, can you just tell us briefly what pre-formulation is about and why is it important?
Pre-formulation. Actually, pre-formulation is the first stage to start the formulation process. So actually, what pre-formulation will do, basically will do a study of physical chemical properties of the API. So it will help you to be more easy to come out with the master formula. So by doing pre-formulation, there is number of steps involved. Especially you must check the solubility of the API. So you need to find out the melting point of the API and the physical properties like powder flow, particle size properties, whether it can be easily compressible. So a lot of other steps need to be carried out in the pre-formulation to be easy to complete your task.
So what you've mentioned are the tests involved, right? Just now the melting point and the solubility test and all. Do they actually have a sequence that you have to go through?
Yes. The first step we have to see the API characteristic, means what form the API will do. It's amorphous form or it is a crystalline form. We must find out the nature and the chemical properties first. Then according to that we must conduct the solubility, whether it is soluble, easily soluble, or it is not really soluble. This type of things we have to carry. Then follow on, we have to conduct the melting point. We can find out.
So is it like a standard procedure for every single?
Actually there is no standard format for pre-formulation. This is as a formulator must carry on pre-formulation will be easier because we don't have any further problem during development stage. So pre-formulation is what I mentioned before, is the first phase to determine what actually with the physical and chemical properties.
So what are the other parameters that are involved in pre-formulation studies?
Pre-formulation means we have to do brand leader characterization. Means we are a generic company, so we always follow the generic when the patent is over. So we have to do some study on the innovator product. We know that already is in the market, so we want to make the similar form of dosage. So we must study how is the brand leader characterization, means how is the tablet looks, appearance, weight, whether it is a coated tablet, is uncoated, and we must do some dissolution for the innovator to compare with our formulation. So this is the work we carry out.
So are there any specific guidelines that you need to follow?
So far, guidelines means we will follow pharmaceutical guidelines, Pharmaceutics. There is some articles in even website for pre-formulation, how to conduct pre-formulation studies. So up to the formulator how he wants to follow the study.
So after all these pre-formulation studies, right, so what happens next?
After pre-formulation we have to go to the formal. So in the pre-formulation we will do a lot of pre-formal batches. Means we do a lot of trials, but not a formal trial. It's all pre-formal trials. So once we conclude from the pre-formal studies, so we will do the formal batch.
Manikandan.
Yes.
So usually, how long will the pre-formulation study take?
Normally, the minimum will be 2 weeks. Maximum can be 1 month plus. So to complete the pre-formulation study.
So normally, does the company set a time limit for you, or?
Actually, there is no time limit. Actually, to complete a project as a formulator, as a formulation team, so we have a 3 months target to come out with the final formula. Means within these 3 months, you must do pre-formulation and formulation. So when completing 3 months, you must have the master formula for the set-down batch. So we have to play a role within the 3 months.
So right, do you have a budget for your pre-formulation studies?
There is no separate budget for pre-formulation. The budget is for the whole project.
For the whole project?
Whole project. There is no something for pre-formulation. No, there is not such thing. So the budget we will for the whole project. There is no separate.
So how much does it usually cost? The whole project?
Depends on what type of product you are developing. If you are developing an immediate release project, there is a different budget. If you are doing SR project with BE studies, there will be a different budget. So budget based on the product, type of product.
Can we know who are the people normally involved in these pre-formulation studies?
I think most of the work will involve by formulators and analysts. So these are the two main key for R&D. So whatever the formulator has come out with the formulation, the analyst is the one to make sure this is the right formula, means by testing. So these are the two people involved in the pre-formulation.
As for a pharmacist, what does a pharmacist does in the pre-formulation study? What is his role?
Pharmacist, yeah. If a formulator must be a pharmacist, will be most suitable to come out with the right formulation. So, but some companies, even formulator is not even a pharmacist background, but they have some production experience. So they have to convert the production experience into a formulation team. If you talk about pharmacists, yeah, they know the subject very well. So whenever they do pre-formulation, they can identify the problem faster than the person who don't have experience in formulation. So pharmacist is the key role in pre-formulation.
Do you normally face any challenges when you do pre-formulation studies?
Actually, the challenges for formulator is when during pre-formulation. Because when we do pre-formulation only, we face number of problems. So from there we have to identify and we have to settle the issue. From there we can come out with the master formula. So there is number of problems we will face during pre-formulation. Means for example, we can say color changes. When we're talking about the challenges in the pre-formulation, I think there is number of challenges we need to overcome, because pre-formulation only we can find out what type of problems that we have to develop the product. MCC, for example, mixing with the API, so any reaction or not. So if you take a formula, we have a number of excipients inside. So all the excipients must be okay with the API. So some other tests also you carry out during the pre-formulations.
Okay. So is it necessary to